Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an article titled The Real Reasons That Good Men Can't Find a Partner. And guys, this article is written by a woman, and basically this is going to go into a discussion and go into all these things about how recently it's been popping up on social media, how men are talking about how, hey, there are no good women out there. That pretty much in this day and age, that it's not worth it and things like that, right? Now, we have all seen and read and videos and all that, countless articles about women complaining there are no good men out there. Where are all the real men? There are no good men out there. There are no gentlemen. Chivalry is dead. Men don't want to man up and settle down. Just all those things. You've heard it all, and believe me, so have I. And I've done plenty of videos on this, okay? So, it's interesting where you're going to see I'm talking about where when guys actually start calling women on these things and saying, you know what, there aren't any good women out there. And instead of actually saying, you know what, maybe these guys have a point, something like that. No. This woman is, of course, to no surprise, trashing guys and their opinions on this and so forth. And a lot of the things that she tries to give these guys and guys in general that have this opinion about how things are in this day and age of women, a lot of the same things that she's trying to attack the guys on are the same crap that women do. Total hypocrites. So I'm going to go through this. You're going to see what I'm talking about, and I'll point this out along the way. It starts, the Daily Mail ran a story today which showcased a variety of men all mourning for the fact that they can't find a good woman. These men aren't trolls, they're not offensive to look at, and they don't seem like bad romantic prospects. Actually, they're decent-looking, solvent, perfectly normal seeming men. But they're all happy to claim publicly that they've been swearing off women because they've been unable to find someone bearable to go out with. Well, given the how things are today, given the attitudes out there that so many have, given the fact, thanks to the you-know-what movement, you have so many women acting masculine, acting like men in women's bodies, things like that, having all these masculine traits, being pushy, domineering, assertive, all that, babbling on about feminism, babbling on about equal rights and politics, or the fact that, guess what, are so unbelievably psychotically picky that you put all that together and it's more and more and more. What do you expect? What do you expect from a lot of guys in this day and age, right? They sure as hell don't trust a lot of women. And how many women are always out there saying that, hey, they want the guy with the sixes, right? 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6-pack, and he also had 6 inches plus down south, okay? When statistically, good luck trying to get all that, let alone 1 or 2 of those in a guy, right? And yet, guys are the villains for having some issues with women? Come on. Of course, the natural response to these blokes is to take the piss. They make the sad faces into the camera and lamenting the fact that women want to get drunk or have sex. There is something faintly ridiculous about their complaints, and I fully understand why Twitter is full of people laughing at them. Women. But perhaps instead of laughing at these men, or maybe as well as, we should address the true reasons that these men are struggling to find someone to love. And guys, if that tries to sound like she's going to be a little nice, no, she's not. Not at all. Here we go. Spoiler alert. It's their own fault. It's not our fault. It's not women's fault. No. It's men's fault. Benevolent sexism. While they're all keen to make the point that they have female friends, I have female friends, therefore I'm not this. The men in the Mail's article display something called benevolent sexism. It's not that they don't like women, they do like women, but they don't see them as equals. If you're dating a woman in 2017, especially a woman who is single in her 40s and 50s, she's going to have her own life, her own patterns, and her own ideals. Well, let me tell you, I know a lot of women that are in their late 30s and 40s, and they've never been married, but I know for a fact they do want to get married and have kids, and they have all these high standards, and yet they wonder why no guy wants them, why they're alone, okay? And they try to put it out there. They're so happy, and these single independent women and all that. A lot of them are now buying houses because that's one thing they want to have an achievement. They buy a house, okay, they got the house, and they either have a dog or a cat, no joke. But they're all bitching about men. I bet there's no real men out there. I'm not kidding. This is not a joke. And the whole being set in their ways, and they are unwilling to budge at all in any way, shape, or form to accommodate anybody. Is it any wonder that they're alone? Lots of women, for instance, like sex. They might even make the first move. This doesn't mean she's a Jezebel who should be sent to live in a home for fallen women. You're not obliged to have sex with her, of course, but please don't act like a proposition is akin to telling you she's got a third boob. She won't need your protection, so you need to leave your white knight complex at home. There you go. What does it say about her? She won't need your protection. You can leave your white knight complex at home. Who does she sound like? What group does this woman sound like? We all know. Next one, outdated ideas. Probably the most jaw-dropping quote of the article is where one man complains that he can't respect a woman who wants to get drunk or wear revealing clothes. Women get to choose what they wear, what they drink, where they go, and what they do. It's their life and their choice. If you think that parents' merit lies in what they choose to clothe themselves in, you're being extremely short-sighted and judgmental. Probably what the guy meant, who she's talking about, is that he didn't mean that like occasionally. He meant that he doesn't want women that are like that all the time. And guess what? There are women out there that get trashed quite regularly and dress pretty promiscuously and quite revealing clothes, okay? No guy wants his lady to be like that, okay? I'm not a big drinker at all, okay? It's just how I live my life, okay? I'm an extremely healthy person. I enjoy going out for a beer here and there, but that's about it, you know? I could not handle... I want to be attracted to any way, shape, or form a woman that's always freaking getting trashed or even drinks a lot. It's a complete turnoff. It's not only is it just a lifestyle, a huge change in compared to how I am, but just I don't want women that's like that. And of course, if you want your girlfriend always walking around in the most revealing clothing, come on here. But every once in a while is one thing. Let me make that point here. It's getting drunk every once in a while. Okay, no big deal. And if she's out wearing revealing clothing once in a while, that's one thing. But if it's all the time, that's probably what that guy was talking about. But you see how this is being spun here. The world has moved on. I can entirely understand how a man who's been out of the dating game for decades might be shocked by how the liberation of women has changed their behaviors. We often go to public houses unaccompanied these days, and some young ladies even venturing outside without their hats and gloves. She's being a smart ass here. But the whole part, she said, we do what we want, when we want, where we want, all that stuff. You can see, again, what group this woman's a part of. To be serious, if a woman's behavior is offending you, try questioning why. Is she doing something that you wouldn't find offensive from a male friend? What does that tell you? In other words, put the blame on you, not us. Also, we don't need you to walk on the outside of the pavement, pull a chair out for us, or run around to open the car door. It's sweet, but not in any way essential. If you want to do that stuff, try checking with a woman whether she's okay with it. So in other words, when you're going out on a date, you should stop and say, hey, Emily, do you mind if I open the door for you? Will that offend you? Do you mind if I pull out your chair for you? Will that offend you in your feminist ways? What, is she kidding here? You know, but she went through that whole thing about we don't need you to open a car door. We don't need you to pull out a chair. We don't need you to do all these things and protect us. And yet, how many have made the complaint, where are the gentlemen? How come there aren't any gentlemen out there? Well, guess what killed it? Women, and particularly feminism. Women like this. This is why guys don't treat women like ladies. Start acting like a lady, and then guys will start acting like a gentleman. Okay? But this nonsense here, and I'm sure there's plenty of you guys that have unfortunately have done this when you were young or didn't know any better, and actually had someone give you a hard time about it. I don't need you to open a door for me. Or you try to do these gentlemanly gestures, and that kindness is perceived as weakness. So you can't win. So basically, guys, don't be gentlemen. You're out on a date, you open the door, and you walk in first. You don't pull out her damn chair. And if she tries to say something about it, which some might just say, I'm not a gentleman. And she says something, say, hey, we know who killed it. We know who killed all that. Goes on to say, next up, defensiveness. Dating is hard. You're auditioning for a place in someone's life, and rejection is frightening, which is exactly why some men get defensive on a date. Being afraid that someone you quite like will knock you back can lead to problems. Difficult as it is, try to open up and relax. A woman is not going to reject you for fun or for her own sick gratification. Yeah, I call bullshit on that. Don't assume the worst or go into it with the preconception that she's going to rip you off or stomp on your heart. I do agree, don't go into a situation with a bad attitude. I have no problem there, but unfortunately, you got to have a little bit of your guard up. Okay, you got to be aware of how things can go. She says, women are not witches. If she turns you down, it's not because she's a bad person or a con artist. It's just because she didn't click with you. Chalk it up to experience and move on. Okay, that one part there, I will agree with, okay? If she's not into you, she's not into you, okay? Not everybody's going to be into you guys. That's just how it is. Just how us guys, we're not going to be into every woman, okay? And yes, chalk it up to experience and move on. I do agree with that. So she said one thing here that I do agree with. Next one, unrealistic expectations. No one wants to hear this, but here it is. Some people have unrealistic expectations. Men often accuse women of this fault, but like he who is without sin cast their first stone and all that. Yeah, well, let's talk about unrealistic expectations. I want a man that's 6 feet tall. I want a man that makes six-figure income. I want a man that has a six-pack. And I want a man who's 6 inches plus down south there. Oh, I want all of that rolled into one. Not if he's 5'11", not if he makes $98,000 a year, not if he has a 4-pack, and not if he is darn close to that number down there. No. Then he's out. Even... good luck trying to get 2 of those in a combination in this day and age. If you look at the statistics behind it, it's very rare. But we're the villains. We're the stupid ones for having unrealistic expectations. Granted, believe me, there are guys out there that do have unrealistic expectations. I'll be honest there. I know some. And it's like, dude, you are out of your freaking mind if you think that you're going to attract this type of woman, given your personality, given the kind of shape you're in, given this, and this, okay? You know, a lot of guys don't want to hear that, but I'm being honest here, okay? But don't give me the heart. I don't want to hear this about the unrealistic expectations. We know who are the masters of unrealistic expectations in this time period. It says here, if you're a single guy who hasn't been able to find a partner, there's probably a reason for that. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you picked the wrong women. Or maybe you're in denial about who it is and it isn't in your league. We'd all like to date someone who is stunningly attractive, successful, funny, interesting, and charismatic. Not everyone can. Well, I think she needs to follow her own advice. I think she needs to share this with the rest of her friends and female co-workers and family and all that. Write an article telling women to not be so having all these unrealistic expectations. Don't just write this to guys. If you're only interested in dating conventionally attractive women who are independently successful with a homemaker streak and a decent amount of younger than you, then you need to ask exactly what is it you are bringing to the party. In other words, what is it you want all these things, guys? What are you bringing to the table? Okay, well, let me flip that over there. You ask your average woman that feels entitled to all these things, what does she bring to the table, really? Because guys can take care of themselves and live on their own and all that stuff. So what is she really bringing to the table? Can she cook? Can she clean? Is she nurturing? Is she supportive? Is she loving? Is she take care of herself? Is she healthy? Is she a fun personality? Does she not nag very much? How about all those things? Good luck trying to find someone that doesn't do a lot of those things I'm talking about there. At the end of the day, what they're really bringing to the table is their looks and their body. Really. A lot of people aren't going to like me saying that, but let's be honest here. That's what it is. Men who really want to meet a woman to spend the rest of their life with might want to think about widening their parameters or upping their own game. Follow your own advice, ladies. You don't get to insist that your other half looks like a Victoria's Secret model if you're balding with a paunch. Again, how many women out there that are overweight, don't have much going on for themselves, have a couple kids from different daddies, yet they feel entitled to 6 figures, 6 feet tall, 6-pack, 6+ down south, right? But we're the idiots for being wanting a few, maybe wanting just a decent looking woman. Come on here. Bad luck. It might not be your fault. You might not be a low-level sexist who thinks women are decorative and sweet and gets annoyed when they want sex, in which case it's probably just bad luck. People of both genders can be dicks. There are trash men in the world and trash women. Sadly, dating seems to bring those people out of the woodwork. You could try a few different dating apps and maybe even capitulate to your friends who want to send you on a blind date with that really great divorcee that they know. And if worse comes to worse, you could always get a dog. So you can see this whole article here. There's no trying to like side with guys, no trying to say maybe you have a point there, guys. No, it's basically trying to make guys feel like idiots, make them feel stupid for saying, guess what? A lot of women out there are crap. There's no real women out there. There's no good women out there. Whatever, you know. And there's a lot of truth to that. Absolutely. Okay? Different ball game nowadays. And yet, God forbid, a guy points those things out about them, right? We're always the villains here. But anyhow, and of course, ending it saying, well, if you don't like it, go get a dog, you know? Good Lord. And by the way, be sure to click in the description. You'll see, scroll down the description, click on the link to this article, and you'll see a picture right at the top, the woman's name that wrote this article, and a little tiny picture of her. Let's just say she's not exactly blessed in the looks department, so she's probably alone too. Anyway, guys, I thought that was an interesting thing to go over here. I stumbled upon that. It's rare you actually find an article that mentions about guys saying, hey, you know what? Where are all the good women? You know, because overwhelmingly you're flooded with all the women complaining. Where are all the good men? There are no gentlemen. You know, things like that. So I thought it'd be a good thing to share. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.